Weekly Wrestling Review with your hosts, Hal,
Jack,
and
Chaz.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Weekly Wrestling Review. I'm Hal.
I'm Chaz.
Unfortunately, we should probably start with the update. Actually, was that on the last week that the first news story came through? Yeah. So we did begin recording a show for last week. We obviously had some issues getting it together. Part of that was still trying to sort out some camera stuff, and also I just had audio issues with it. And even beyond that, once I salvaged that, then our internet also acted up. So I just, everything was against me trying to upload anything last week.
The episode was cursed.
It was certainly cursed. But we talked briefly about the disappearance of Shad Gaspard. And unfortunately, as unfortunately was probably expected by the time that we talked about the story even then, because he'd been missing for a few days and the search had been called off, they did find his body. And the wrestling world lost a talented wrestler, a good personality.
An all-round great guy from the stories that have accumulated.
It's worth noting that his death was through almost, I guess, a sacrifice of his own to save his son, to make sure his son was safe. But, you know, that son now is without a dad. A family has lost a great member, and I imagine for JTG it's like losing a family member as well. His old tag team partner.
I think that was one of the things that was released quite early on, when it was everyone sharing their condolences, talking about how great he was. But JTG actually shared a text message sent merely moments before his death. It was quite heartbreaking. I can't remember exactly what the text said, but it was...
Either way, the world's a little dimmer without Shad Gaspard. And, you know, I hope his family pull through the entire situation okay. But we should try to get to some... So let's try and talk about things that are more entertaining, because we have enough things to be sad or upset about in these current times. These very trying times, so let's move on.
Yep.
We've got Raw, which... Okay. So we started Raw with... Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Talking about his match with Edge. Once again, they're building up towards the Backlash match, which they're still portraying as the greatest wrestling match ever.
Yeah.
Which is a bold gimmick to put on a match.
Yeah.
It was fine. There was nothing particularly notable about it, per se.
No, I mean, look, I talked about it last week. But I'll mention it again simply because we didn't get to air it out. There was so much backlash from the first match. You know, so many people. Like, it was half and half. I personally thought it was a fantastic match. Maybe I do agree to some extent that it went on for far too long, but a lot of people have like shamed the whole match as a whole. Like, so I think that they want to try and put out a more wrestling spectacle between the two, just to make up for the reaction that the WrestleMania match got.
Right.
Which I don't entirely... I'm not against the idea of it. I think it's more for the fans that didn't enjoy the WrestleMania match more than anything else. But we know Randy Orton is an incredible wrestler. We know Edge is an incredible wrestler. So it should be an incredible match on paper. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it as much as the WrestleMania, because I thought the WrestleMania match, even though it went all out and it was all over the place, like all around the arena, falls count anywhere, last man standing, you're not gonna get that aspect. So the fun aspect has been taken out of it.
Yeah.
They seem to have a lot of fun doing the spots they were doing.
Right.
Including with all the surroundings. They were in the gym, all around the production area.
Yeah.
You know, in this it's just going to be a standard wrestling match. Probably not going to go on for the 45 minutes that the WrestleMania one went on. But I still believe they can put on a good match. I'm just worried that I won't enjoy it as much as the WrestleMania match.
Right. I guess we'll just have to see where that goes. But yeah, so it was a fine segment. The next segment on the card was Humberto Carrillo coming out to, to talk about what happened to Rey Mysterio last week. For those who missed it, and we didn't cover it last week, Rey Mysterio got
he got murdered. He was
one
murdered
of the
on Money in the
worst.
Bank. He was then murdered on Raw. I mean, if getting thrown on, again, it's one of those, because we didn't air it. If Rey Mysterio was on an Olympic for bad luck, he didn't just medal. He Michael Phelps. Like, seriously, he was Money in the Bank. He was choked out by Shayna Baszler. He ended up passed out on top of Nia Jax at one point.
Yeah.
He was then thrown off the roof, presumed dead, by many a people on Twitter. Only for the next night to be blinded by Seth Rollins.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rey Mysterio didn't have a good go of it, but Humberto Carrillo comes out to sort of lambast Rollins, and it turns out that Buddy Murphy comes out to sort of defend his Messiah.
Yeah.
And we get a match out of it, even though Murphy already has a match later on that night.
Yeah.
With Aleister Black.
Yeah.
And this was... This wasn't really much of a match so much as it was just furthering this storyline.
Yeah. I mean, when the match became impromptu, I didn't expect much from it because we knew Buddy Murphy was going to be fighting Aleister Black later on.
Right.
So it was fine for what it was. It's just a shame that they went down this road with it because them two can put on a fantastic match. But I'm not against them going further with the story.
I think it's not so much as a match as it is a storyline angle, which does it further the story. I mean, it's kind of just the same notes really for the Monday Night Messiah.
I think it is, in a way, it's furthering the story because Humberto Carrillo's come out. He's talking about the incident in which Seth Rollins done what he did to Rey Mysterio. Buddy Murphy's then coming out to, you know. So it in a way it furthers the story. It's trying to make Seth Rollins more powerful, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, going forward. So it's furthering the story on that aspect, even though it didn't seem like it would with Humberto Carrillo being the one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those type of matches that you're not really invested in.
Right.
That's the way I looked at it.
Because from our perspective at least, we kind of knew not to expect too much from this because of the circumstances we already knew.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't have matches happening and such. After that, we had probably our first proper match of the night with Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott.
Yeah. Again, we're on this path with Ruby Riott that she just don't seem to be coming out of anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, she's returned to.
When was the last time she won a match?
Has she won a match since she returned?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
So I'm not 100% sure either. To be fair with you, I mean, obviously, against Charlotte, I didn't hold much hope for Ruby Riott, but I just don't see why Ruby Riott's the one taking the fall for every woman on the Raw roster so far.
Yeah.
You know, again, it baffles me. I mean, I've said it countless times. She returned. It seemed like a promising return, and it's been nothing but...
She's sort of become the women's division's enhancement talent.
Yeah.
The jobber.
She is basically the Al Snow of women.
I thought about saying that, but I held off on saying it.
It's
Job squad.
It's a shame, yeah. It is a shame. I mean, maybe it's the circumstances we're in.
Right.
You know, so... Again, I can't really blame WWE Creative. I can't badmouth them because of the situation that they're in. They're working with a handful of talent. I don't know. Maybe I have a soft spot for Ruby Riott in the aspect that I always thought she would do well if she was brought up to the main roster.
I guess my thing though is like because not. Sometimes they do, but I mean they're sort of doing with Akira Tozawa, I suppose. But I guess I would argue that they for the male division they've employed a lot of local or NXT talent or like developmental talent. I don't see why they can't do that with women as opposed to just using Ruby Riott. I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. It's annoying.
Again, it could just be the circumstances we're in. So I'm not gonna dive too far in and blame creative for this, because they're only gonna be working with certain amount of superstars, because a lot ain't gonna want to go out in the predicament they're in.
Yeah.
You know, so
Middle of her profile people have blatantly said it.
Exactly.
Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns.
We've seen the ramifications of that.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of talk about how WWE are pushing forward without the likes of Roman Reigns. It's almost like they're getting ready for a life without Roman Reigns in WWE altogether.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the situation at hand. It's as much as I have enjoyed having wrestling to watch during this, I wouldn't have been totally against the idea of WWE shutting up shop.
Because a lot, I guess, like the problem is, as much as there are good moments, and I think a lot of they've done some good things with it, but I think that a lot of the frustration is that it's led to a situation where we've seen...
We're not getting the full potential of the shows that we're getting.
There's a lot of months where basically the entire lead up to the pay-per-view is mostly copy and pasted matches.
Yes.
And it is frustrating, I will agree with that. After that match, we had Kairi Sane holding a celebration for new women's champion Asuka.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing, the balloons, it's everything. It's a big celebration.
Look, we say they don't work well together in the ring as a tag team.
No.
Right? But they do, their personalities work well when they do segments. Asuka her personality is just incredible.
Yeah.
You know, she's so fun, she's so bubbly, she can have a good time. She ain't afraid to get silly.
No.
You know, and she can be serious when she wants to be.
Yeah.
So, you know, I loved the whole celebration. I loved her reaction to last week getting the title.
Yeah.
Her whole performance in the Money in the Bank had me in stitches from minute one. You know,
from the jumping off point, you might say.
Exactly. I mean, she is incredible to watch.
Absolutely.
And I think she'll be a great Raw Women's Champion.
I think the moment the segment started, though, I knew something was going to happen during it.
Yeah.
I mean...
This is the moment, because it was so forced the way it's happened, you sort of have to throw out the first challenger.
Yeah.
And...
we get Nia Jax.
We do.
And
it was expected.
Yeah.
You know, I felt Nia Jax was getting pushed leading up to Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it only fitting that she would be... the one to step up and be the first challenger for Asuka. She has had a tough run in WWE.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and say that I think she's going to beat Asuka, because I don't. I don't think it's going to be a short Asuka reign. Probably, I don't see it being as long as Becky Lynch's reign. But as long as there's a good matchup out of it, I'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
It's just I'm fed up of us or WWE pushing talent to having disappointing matches when it comes down to it. Especially if there's a big build-up. We had a big build-up to Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, they didn't go quite as planned.
Yeah, it was a shambles.
Yeah.
To put it blatantly, I still say it was, for me, if not the worst, definitely the top 3 worst matches
of that
on the card. Not just of one of the nights, but of both nights put together, the whole card as a whole. It's definitely in the top 3 of the worst matches, and I'd put it down there as even to say it's up there with probably the top 5 worst matches in WrestleMania history. I mean, there's some matches in WrestleMania 1 that I'd put above it.
Oh,
and we all know how bad WrestleMania 1 was.
It's a rough take from Chaz. But yeah, so it seems we're going to be getting Nia Jax as Asuka's first challenger for the Raw Women's title.
Yep.
We'll see where that goes. Speaking of repeated segments, next on the card was Lashley and R-Truth again.
Yeah.
And
I'm not. You know what? I don't really hate this as much because we're trying to push Bobby Lashley into a world title picture. You know, so I don't hate this one as much. I more hate it when it seems to go nowhere.
Yeah.
At least this one is going somewhere. All right, we're not seeing the full potential of Bobby Lashley as this straightforward, going for gold guy. You know, if he's just going to be fighting R-Truth, but at least it's something.
He's winning matches.
Exactly. He's not being squashed.
Dominant.
He's dominating. He looks good. You know, it's probably one of the best times I've seen Bobby Lashley in WWE as a whole. So, I'm not too sore about this. I love the idea that we've got. I love the fact that we've got MVP as his manager.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like this is the closest we're gonna get to another Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman scenario, because MVP is a great talker, and he can back it up in the ring.
Bobby Lashley is not.
Bobby Lashley is not a great talker.
But he can go.
But he can go in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely.
So these two can work well together.
Yeah.
You know, Bobby Lashley's cocky, confident in the ring. MVP's cocky, confident in all aspects of his game. So their personalities will bounce off each other. They will clash at some point, I would imagine. But it's good to finally see them taking Bobby Lashley seriously, because it's something that we've wanted. We didn't rate him when he was in WWE at first.
No.
His first run in WWE. He went to TNA. We started watching TNA.
Yeah.
We saw how good he can be. And he came back to WWE. I was excited. And then we went to the show.
We went to the Sisters.
We did. You know, so it was so disappointing.
Yeah.
To see the downfall of the whole Bobby Lashley as a whole.
Right. Next on the card we had Cross and Bliss versus the Iconics. Well, it just kind of went nowhere.
Yeah.
I
mean, if the match wasn't disappointing in itself, the ending just topped it off. After last week, I was excited for this match.
It was a good return for.
It was
for the Iconics, for Peyton Royce and Billy Kay.
Yeah, and then we give them the title match because they did knock off the champions last week, and this match just was flat from start to finish.
They just kind of throw it away.
Yeah, exactly.
In a DQ finish.
Yeah. So,
which just makes the Iconics look stupid.
It does, especially the way it ended.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, we could have come up with a better thing for that. Look, it ended in a disqualification in a way you're going to look at it and say, well, the Iconics have just blown their chance. We're not going to get another match out of this. Knowing WWE, we are going to get another match out of this, but if you're gonna get another match out of it, surely you'd have put it in a way that.
Right, like.
Hit him with a title belt.
There's loads of ways to do it. So you do that. You could even like if you don't want him to actually no contest. We don't see any no contest matches anymore. Like things that end in a no contest really. Not as much. Like the only time I can really think of recently is like the Shayna Baszler angle of breaking people's arms.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You don't really see like. There are ways to make there's ways to make a heel contender. Not win the titles and continue a feud without making him look like idiots. And this was just poor.
Even the reaction of him afterwards, like, it was so over the top. I mean, yeah, I wasn't impressed.
It was disappointing.
I wanted so much more from it.
Very, very disappointing. Yeah, one of the low points of the week for sure.
Yeah.
After that, we had Natalya versus Shayna Baszler in a submission match. And...
Again, exactly like we were saying with the Cross Bliss.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, the women's tag match.
This match was flat.
Yeah.
It was so dominant again from Shayna Baszler. Again, Natty is just a downfall in WWE pretty much her whole career. This again cements it, if it ain't already been cemented. I don't know. I don't understand the plan for Shayna Baszler. You know, Nia Jax is the number one contender, or so it seems.
Yeah.
And Shayna Baszler's just destroying the women's division left, right, and centre.
Right.
Because she's still not over the whole Becky Lynch loss at WrestleMania. And we're not going to get that revenge rematch that we were sort of expecting. Because, unfortunately, Becky Lynch has relinquished the title due to the fact that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So, we missed out on Shayna Baszler.
Is that part of why Shayna Baszler's been spinning? Like, just spinning the wheels in WrestleMania? Because they have nothing for her now? Do you know what that is? That's the sign someone's going to be out of the company soon.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. When it seems to be the thing that happens. Whenever a storyline gets shafted, the main person that was being built by that storyline ends up leaving.
Yeah.
It seems to happen like 9 times out of 10 at least.
It's like, this is the thing. It's like WWE want to keep her, but they've got nothing for her.
Yeah.
But they want to put her on TV. So they're just going to have her destroy and conquer until they come up with something for her. And again, it could be because of the circumstances, but there's 2 circumstances on this one. Because it's not just the times that we're in, it's also Becky Lynch's pregnancy.
Yeah.
So there's sort of 2 setbacks for Shayna Baszler in this part. So I don't know what they plan with her. I hope they figure it out soon.
Yeah, definitely. After that, we had Kevin Owens reintroduce us to Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
And, you know, after that, pretty much like immediately we had Andrade, Selena Vega, the entire crew. And, you know, it seems like we're going to push through this angle because now Garza and Andrade lose this match.
Yeah.
The tag team match just gets formed out of nowhere.
Yeah. As you do.
Yeah. Spirit of Teddy Long.
Yeah.
And yeah, so after the match, Garza and Andrade seem to turn on Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say it hadn't been coming because we saw the whole twist and turns of this group ever since the week after their debut, where they had a strong debut, and then all of a sudden it's just gone downhill from there.
It's really disappointing.
It was.
Now, it's weird because the trajectory of this angle has been that it seems like all 4 of them are at odds with each other.
Yeah.
But with Theory going out first, are they trying to just re-establish the original team?
Andrade, yeah.
Or are they just going to dissolve all of them? Because it feels like that's where they were aiming towards. I don't know.
It's weird. But you know, it's good. It's good to see Apollo Crews still going with the angle that we thought he was going to. It looks like he's getting a push for the United States title down the line, and it's great to see Kevin Owens back on TV because we haven't seen him since WrestleMania. So this whole thing was win-win. Do you know what? I mean,
I'm still not entirely sure what the kayfabe Crews injury was about.
No, nor do I.
I don't feel like he changed anything.
No. But yeah, my theory was it was just specifically so that they could run him into the United States title picture, keeping a push.
Yeah.
You know, keeping his momentum going because he's had a strong momentum since coming to Raw. I was disappointed with the whole theory excursion thing, but you know, it could work out well.
Well, I guess we'll see. See where it goes. Now, it seems like they're not planning to just throw Theory off of TV because in the next match, where Aspak is meant to have his match with Buddy Murphy, during things, Theory interferes.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Like, the last segment didn't have to be a bad thing. It could be a really good thing.
Yeah, I was concerned at first. I thought they were just going to push Theory to the side, but it seems like he's actually getting almost promoted.
Yeah, it's a promotion.
To the main heel of Raw's stable.
Yeah. I mean...
So, it's certainly interesting. And I can only imagine what a singles match between Austin Theory and Aleister Black might be like. Oh.
Well. I mean... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was them two who had a qualifying match in the Money in the Bank.
It might have been. I might have just misremembered. Yeah.
You know, so... But if you stick these two in a match with a bit more, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. That could be interesting.
It could be really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So, in... The Street Profits and the Viking Raiders angle still continues to mystify me, because now we get the reverse of the last thing they had, where now, instead of a basketball competition, they have an axe throwing competition. And it goes exactly as the basketball match did, where the Street Profits, as the supposed outsiders to the whole thing, are terrible throughout the entire competition. Then with the last moments, they show, no, actually, we're really good. We were just fucking with you.
Yeah.
It's another of those things where it is frustrating. Like we understand that there's limited things they can do, but it's frustrating that it's getting to a point where I can almost predict how segments are going to go.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Again, it was probably fun just for the fact that it was something different. But it's not something that I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been a big fan of the silly parts of WWE. You know, I was all about the wrestling, the action. You know, some of the silly parts, yeah, but...
Goldust's entire career.
I love Goldust.
Yeah. But no, there's things that work, but I do agree that, like, these sort of things feel really out of place.
Yeah. Because
it's not even so much about the characters, it's just like a weird situation that has nothing to do with wrestling.
Of course.
It's strange.
It's strange, it's frustrating, you know, and it makes you less interested in the match that they're building up to.
I think the only time I found like a really out of place segment, like that it comes immediately to mind that felt really out of place but I still liked it, was, I don't know if you'll remember this, but in the mid-2000s, it was during MVP's first run, I think, and there was a point where he had like, I think a basketball thing with Matt Hardy?
Yes.
But it was in the arena, like it was near the stage.
They were having like a best of 7 series type of stuff at the time, and I believe it was for the United States title. Yeah, I remember that. You know, stuff like that, when it's like that, it becomes fun. But this is like...
This just felt too out of place.
Yeah, this one is just...
It felt too disconnected. It took me out of things.
Yeah, because their one wasn't straight in. It was like you knew what you were getting straight away. You know, because when they talked about it, it was, I'm better than you at everything.
Yeah.
In this one, it was the Viking Raiders saying, the Street Profits haven't beat us in a wrestling ring.
But they're still not wrestling.
But they're not wrestling. you know, we're having
exactly.
matches. We're having axe throwing competitions. Next week, we're probably going to have a water fight. I don't know what's going on. We're leading up to Backlash, where they're probably going to actually have a wrestling match, where the Street Profits will probably beat them.
Yeah.
And all this is for nothing. You know, it just makes me less interested in the match that we're going to get.
The night ended with Drew McIntyre versus King Corbin. Before this match begun, we had a bit of interference from Lashley and MVP. So, which almost makes me think Lashley might be going straight for, like, the world title.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I thought this at first. So the moment MVP came out and said, you're better than this, you should be going for world titles, I had an inkling that Bobby Lashley was going to be the challenger for Drew McIntyre. So we're sort of keeping up with that. There's a bit of interference, and throughout the whole match, they're just sort of watching, scouting, if you will.
Yeah.
MVP and Bobby Lashley, they're just standing on the ramp, scouting everything Drew McIntyre does. MVP sort of picking up on every little thing that not only Drew McIntyre is doing wrong, but also that his opponents are doing wrong. You know, trying to make it clear for Bobby Lashley to counter certain things.
Yeah.
In the end, I don't think anyone's gonna counter the Claymore kick.
No.
I mean, it's a devastating maneuver.
I think if we do lead to a McIntyre-Lashley feud for the world title, I think even with someone of Lashley's style, I think McIntyre can help carry him to a really decent match.
Elevate him.
Yeah.
You know, this don't have to be the push and end of Bobby Lashley.
No.
This could be the push, and then we're gonna take you seriously now.
Yeah.
You know, so Drew McIntyre is definitely one of those superstars that can elevate a career even when beating an opponent.
Yeah.
And there's not many people that can do that.
Right.
You know, AJ Styles is one that can definitely
do absolutely.
that. Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. Each one of them can do that. Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So it's not the be all and end all if the match is done correctly. But it's got to be done correctly.
But yeah, so ultimately, I mean, even with the interference, Drew McIntyre, Corbin could probably lose to a paper bag at this point.
Yeah. You know, the paper bag wouldn't have to put up a fight.
No, exactly. So, yeah, Drew McIntyre wins. It was expected. But the more interesting thing is the potential for a big Lashley world title push.
Yeah.
I think that's the main talking point as far as that goes. Overall, I think Raw was fine.
Yeah.
I felt the matches were a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
A lot of...
pretty much every match was a letdown to some aspect.
Yeah.
You know, it's very rare I've said that on a Raw recently. Like, there's always been like one standout match. But in this one, I can't think of one match that I actually sat there and thought I could watch that one again.
Yeah. No, I agree. A lot of the more interesting moments were the things where in a match or in a segment they more propelled the stories going on.
You know, Austin
and even
Theory's...
then, there wasn't too much of that. There was the Theory stuff and there was the potential Lashley challenge and stuff. But there wasn't even really too much of that. This was a disappointing Raw, I think, overall.
Yeah.
So SmackDown, for some of the things we said about the Raw segments with like the matches and stuff,
SmackDown probably beat it with.
So Raw didn't have the Miz TV segment that happened at the start of this show, which I think can summarily be described as what?
Yeah.
The rejected puppets.
Yeah.
The everything, the obvious like calling of like, well, obviously this isn't the end of the feud.
Yeah.
Right. So loads of we can tell. Thanks, Miz. Thanks for reminding us that like this obviously isn't over. And then just the setup of a handicap match at Backlash.
Yeah.
For the title.
Yeah. I mean, look. To me, this just cements the idea I have that Braun Strowman's going to drop the title to The Fiend, but they want to give Braun Strowman a credible title reign.
Yeah.
So he's beat Bray Wyatt. He'll beat The Miz and John Morrison.
Yeah. I mean...
And then probably go on to lose the title to The Fiend. It wouldn't surprise me if Braun Strowman cleanly destroys Miz and Morrison and then something happens involving The Fiend.
I wonder if they're trying to also save that the second part of that feud for something like SummerSlam.
Maybe.
Like a more high profile pay-per-view.
Maybe. We're not far away from it.
No, it's 2 months.
Yeah, so there's that possibility. Thing is, though, who would you just throw in matches with Braun Strowman leading up to them?
I'm not sure. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what they're going to do. But that would just be my initial thought, I guess. But I don't know.
Either which way, Miz TV to kick off SmackDown. If you need toilet, go. And you use that as your toilet.
You can miss the match between Miz and Braun Strowman as well while you're at it. You know what happened.
Yeah. It don't last long.
No. After that, we had AJ Styles on SmackDown.
We did.
And he took on Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't think these two have fought since their big world title feud back in...
a couple of years ago.
2016, 2017? Yeah. Which was a good feud. Which was a strong feud.
To be honest, I enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
This match I enjoyed. I don't think it's the best match that these two have had.
No.
You know, but from what we've had and what we get over the rest of the night, this definitely was refreshing. It's
probably one of the better things we had this week as far as matches go.
Yeah. And it was the Intercontinental Championship tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think we knew the moment AJ Styles got put to SmackDown.
Yeah, it'd be weird if they had the big thing of trading him over to SmackDown
just
and then
to
he loses
to someone who's pretty much become an afterthought in WWE recently.
Yeah.
You know, shame to say, because Shinsuke Nakamura is talented.
Absolutely.
But he's not had the best of runs in WWE. I mean, he won the Royal Rumble. We thought he was going to go on to win the world title. That didn't happen.
Become kind of just generic foreigner heel with two lackeys.
Yeah. So, but he still put on a good match with AJ Styles. AJ Styles gets the win.
Yeah.
As you expect. But I didn't hate the match. And that's a good take on a bad week so far. You know, so.
Next we were backstage with Bayley and Sasha Banks, and Bayley straight up tells her, "You're not coming to the ring tonight. People keep saying I can't win without you, so I'm going to prove them wrong, and you're going to stay back here, basically." Yeah. And well, I'm sure that's not going to cause any repercussions down the line. I
mean, it's sort of still trying to cement this whole Sasha Banks-Bayley feud that we're sort of expecting. Now we're just waiting for it to actually turn.
I think it's dragging along a bit at this point.
It is. It's either going to happen or it's not going to happen. Make up your mind.
It's just so obvious at this point. Like, it's been telegraphed since the first moment it was going to happen, but...
Pretty much since Banks returned.
Yeah. Do you remember when these twists were shocking?
Yeah. Not so shocking anymore.
Do you remember when Christian just clocked Edge with a King of the Ring trophy?
Exactly.
In 2001?
Yeah, exactly. You don't get you don't get shocking twists like you used to, which is disappointing.
But it is worth noting that ultimately in this match against Charlotte Flair in a Champions Champion match, Bayley did come out on top.
Yeah.
Which just probably solidifies to her that she doesn't need Banks, which is probably going to lead to more of the feud going on. She's going to start telling her to stay away at some point, probably, to sing something. I feel like I know where this is going to go, roughly.
Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of like the fact they did this because we've sort of come to the conclusion that every time Bayley wrestles, Sasha Banks gets involved in that.
Yeah.
Because Bayley can't do it by herself, which is not the case because we know what Bayley's about. We know what she can do.
Yeah.
You know, and now she's knocked off Charlotte. So, you know, maybe that'll calm that down. But I still hope that they do move forward with this feud if it's going to happen.
Yeah. After that, we had the mixed tag match between Mandy Rose Notice and Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville.
Yeah. I mean, No, I think with the story going on, I kind of expected more from this match. But I like the fact that Sonya Deville pretty much dominated Mandy Rose in the ring. Like, it was great for Sonya Deville.
I don't think we were ever under the illusion that any of these 4 people would lead to any particularly like big wrestling matches. Although I will say Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville was more than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
But I do think we're more. I think we might give this one a pass potentially because the storyline itself has been so enjoyable to watch over the past months.
Yeah, that you just expected more from the match. I mean, it just seemed like a lot of cheap shots from Dolph Ziggler on Otis.
That's his whole MO, yeah.
you know, complete domination from Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
Not too much offense from Otis or Mandy Rose in this. And then even when it ends, Otis, you know, is looking out for Mandy Rose, like making sure she's okay. And again, Dolph Ziggler uses this to sneak in the ring and hit him with a super kick.
Yep.
You know, cementing that this isn't over. But how far more are you going to go with this? Like, Otis and Dolph Ziggler have had their singles matches. They've now had the tag team matches. You know, so where are you going with this before you turn around and say, look, that's it, we're moving Otis on with this Money in the Bank thing?
Right.
You know, is it due to the fact that Tucker's not being seen at the moment? Are we going to see Otis go for the world title?
Still can't believe they teased that last week.
I still can't, but I'm still in shock that Otis holds the Money in the Bank contract. Yeah, I'm still waiting to wake up and...
What if he just asks for a fair match and that's the angle for the next month? After the Miz and Morrison thing, and he just loses.
That could be it. That could be it.
Oh.
It seems that they had an idea to go with Otis and Tucker going for the tag titles with the Money in the Bank.
Presumably, Tucker's just not travelling.
Yeah, so that's having to be squashed. So it could easily be that Otis will be a fair challenge for Braun Strowman's title and not win. Dolph Ziggler could probably cost him in the match. I don't know, but you know.
After that, we had 2 very short segments, both worth mentioning though. Jeff Hardy, with his typical wacky face paint.
Yep.
Which is fine. I mean, I appreciate that he's become more expressive with like his actual interests with the painting and stuff, and having like the more crazy look, which is fine. But he's mostly just talking about he's basically hyping up his place in the IC title thing. But after that, interestingly, I was surprised by this just because of the fact that they don't usually, unless it's like a really huge person, they don't usually do this for people who aren't technically with the company when it happens. But they did show a thing for Shad.
Yeah.
Briefly. They didn't really talk about him or mention him. I guess that's maybe a legal thing or something because he's independent and not with the company. I don't know.
But it was still a nice gesture from WWE.
It was something. It's worth noting, actually, that his family have a GoFundMe open at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's definitely worth checking out if you're able to at this time because, you know, with everything that's gone on, you know, they probably need it, I imagine, for funeral costs and stuff like that, plus potentially, and just all sorts of stuff. So check it out if you can. After that, we had Renee Young backstage with Miz and Morrison. It's just talking about the handicap match at Backlash, which I don't think we even need to really talk about it.
Again, this is another segment you can just probably skip and that'd be that.
Yeah. And we ended things with the Jeff Hardy Sheamus match.
Yeah. Again, this was another match that I did enjoy.
Yeah.
You know. I wanted more because it seemed like the feud was going to lead to a feud.
Yeah,
you know.
We thought we were going somewhere with this, but it's just turned into like an IC title match.
Yeah, and...
Again, there's always potential, I guess. Jeff Hardy won this match. There's always potential that Sheamus could screw him, and then we could get something out of that, a program out of that. That'd be interesting. But it also seems like they are sort of telegraphing that maybe he'll win and have the IC title as like a final big string.
Yeah.
Before he retires or goes elsewhere. I'm saying that because even if he said he retired, you may not retire. That's how wrestlers go.
I think the interesting thing is, going into it, like, Jeff Hardy's just beat Sheamus, right? We're going into this, so you've got the possibility of Sheamus screwing him.
Yeah.
But you've also got the fact that we've got a match between Jeff Hardy and Daniel Bryan where we don't actually know where it's going to go.
That's true.
And
if that's just a proper match, that could be wild.
And I think you could say the same for the AJ Styles Elias match. You don't know where that's going to go.
Right.
You got the possibility of King Corbin interfering because of what Elias did.
Yeah,
to King Corbin
that's true.
In the bank.
That's true.
We don't know AJ Styles' status on SmackDown. You know, so there's a lot of interesting things going in the Intercontinental title tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it wasn't the best of weeks.
No.
Backlash is only a couple weeks away, so if we're gonna start getting the stories rolling, it's got to start from next week. You've got to be stronger. Yeah.
Backlash will be on June the 14th.
I believe so. Yeah.
I guess I would say SmackDown was the better this week just because it still had decent segments, and it
had a couple of decent matches.
At least two decent matches in it. So, and Raw was just a lot of really flat matches, as you said.
I mean, there was flat matches.
Hey, Harry here. Just letting you know, as we were recording this was initially meant to be a video podcast. It's meant to be more of a video cast, and so us getting back into that. But I sort of overestimated how long my laptop battery would last for, and unfortunately, it was at this point as you hit a cutoff where it went out of charge. Luckily, it only went standby, so I could salvage the audio at least. The camera footage ended up being a bit corrupted, but hopefully I'll sort it out for next time. But I hope you enjoyed the episode this week. Hopefully there'll be less of these sort of issues as we move forward. Thank you for listening. See you next time.